Okay, and welcome to your video tutorial on solving problems using Pythagoras. So the last few lessons we've learnt about Pythagoras' theorem. Today we're going to have a look at how you actually solve real-world problems using Pythagoras' theorem. Woohoo! Look how excited I am. Okay. Initially, it might not have been obvious when, for the last two lessons, you've been looking at just triangles. You can actually use Pythagoras' theorem to solve a variety of problems that will actually make sense in the real world. Engineers use Pythagoras a lot. Builders use Pythagoras a lot. Carpenters use Pythagoras a lot. It's not just creepy people sitting at home with triangles. You can actually use Pythagoras a lot in the real world. And today we are going to have a look at one particular example. Okay, say for example, you're an engineer and you want to run a cable between two buildings. Here's an example of how you could use Pythagoras. So, two skyscrapers are located 25 metres apart and a cable links the top of the two buildings. Find the length of the cable if the buildings are 50 metres and 80 metres high. Give your answer correct to two decimal places. Oh, well, it's not a triangle. How the hell do I do that? You have a building, okay? The first thing we need to do is label all the parts we know. We know this one is 50 metres, this one is 80 metres. Obviously, in the picture, they're taller, okay? If we know that that's 50 metres up until there and it's 80 metres all the way up to that will help us work out what this guy is in the middle. So what I've done is I've actually edited this picture on Photoshop and added the measurements in. We know that we are trying to find the cable length. So the cable length goes from here to here. So if we're looking realistically, I can almost just cut a line across there and I'll have a right-angled triangle. So let's have a look at the picture I created in Photoshop. Okay, so this is it, okay? Now, the first thing you need to do when you get a question like this, when you get a worded problem, is first off, work out what they're trying to ask you. But second off, say, okay, if the cable's running from here to here, this is going to be a right-angled triangle. You draw the right-angled triangle and you label the measurements with the pronumerals. Okay, so if it's 25 metres from there to there, the base of my triangle is going to be 25 metres. If it's 50 metres this tall on the building, 80 metres that tall on the building, it means that the measurement in here is going to be 80 subtract 50, so that's going to be 30 metres, okay? And I'm after the hypotenuse, or I'm after the side that is opposite the right angle, okay? That's the first thing I do. The first thing I do is I need to draw a triangle and label with the measurements and the pronumeral, or the thing that I'm looking to find. So if I look here, I've redrawn it a bit nicer. I've redrawn it here and it says X metres, that's the cable length I'm trying to find. I've worked out the bits between my building and I've worked out the base because it told me it was 25 metres. So if I have these two sides, the two shorter sides, and I'm trying to work out the hypotenuse, I simply use the formula c squared equals a squared plus b squared. You need to lay your working out exactly as I show you in these video tutorials. Every single line. Every single line. Now, in this case, I'm looking for an x, so I might as well substitute my x in for a c. So instead of saying c squared, I'm going to say x squared. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way I write it, but in this case, I will. A squared, I can pick either of these as a, so I can pick 25 or 30. I don't know, I'll go with 25. 25 squared plus 30 squared. Okay. X squared. And then I work out what 25 and 30 are, so I have some measurements to work with. 625, when I do that in my head, 30 squared, 30, 900. Okay, and so x squared altogether, or the area of the box coming off this guy, okay, is equivalent to 1525. Okay, that's the square, that's the area of that guy there, that's the square, okay? Now I need to find just one of those side lengths. Just one of them. So if I have x squared, the way to get rid of that is to find the square root. 1525. Oh, can't do that in my head. So x is equivalent to, oh, it's going to be a decimal, 39.0. Okay, and I'm going to round it to two decimal places. So when I put that in my calculator, I get a big long answer. I go to the decimal point, Okay, I look 2 places, I see the 5 sitting there. I move to the right of it, there's a 1, it's less than 5, so that 5 stays the same, and it becomes 39.05. I've been given my question, however, as a worded problem. It says, how long was the cable length that goes between the 2 buildings? Therefore, my answer must be in words. My question gets given in words, I give my answer in words. So I would write to follow this off. Therefore, the cable needs to be 39.05 metres long. Okay, guys, and that is solving worded problems. Main things you need to remember is look at the question, work out what it's trying to ask you, draw the triangle, work out what you're working at, give your answer in words if it's a worded problem.